I come from a very little island, that's the Dominican Republic, and I was raised in a farm. Well, not exactly the farm and the city, and I really love those memories that I have from there. Well, I had a really good upbringing, right? Except for the fact that my parents got divorced, except for that, I had a really big family. My mom has a really big family, and we used to go to the farm every weekend. And I really love those memories, you know, climbing the trees and going every morning or during the weekends to see milking the cows, right? And being there. Um, for Christmas, every time that I remember Christmas, I love that because Christmas was a very special time for us, especially because we will have this memory all the time. We will have this big pork, the pork. It's the whole pork, and they will put the stick through from the mouth to the back, and they will roast the pork the whole night. Right? So all the women will season it the day, 2 days before, right? And then we will go at night to see the pork roasting, right? And then the next morning, the pork will be, at the kitchen in the kitchen of my grandma there, and we will stick out all the meat and all these things. So I do remember. It's a beautiful memory for me. So growing up, it was like that. I have a lot of cousins, and it's a big family, and I love that. We have all this time together, and we would do many cheeky things, and it was a lot of fun, right? So yeah, that was my growing up. It is an island in the Caribbean. That's Dominican Republic, right next to Central America. My mom is the one who has inspired me. She was a really strong woman, very determined. She will always find a way. I think all my creativity comes from her, because she would be an amazing problem solving. She would be, and she was always strong. She was always kind and loving, but at the same time, very determined. And I remember she always said this, Lamgi, just throw out the bad things from the people and just keep the good things. And she would say that about everybody. Whatever is bad, just throw it out and just keep and hold the good things. And I have carried that memory and that learning my whole life, and has been really, really helpful for many things. School. Yeah, school was good. We were in private Catholic schools. Well, they're all nuns. It's a non schools. Yeah. So it was good. The school was good. I have a lot of friends. I did go to a different schools because we moved to different places. Yeah. So live in the capital, and then we went to my hometown. So we moved to a few places, and I make friends everywhere. And I do remember because my son loves to play video games. And I said to him, I used to play video games, but it was only on weekends, on Saturdays. So all the kids around the corner, like 5 kids, will go like around 6 o'clock in the morning every Saturday just to sit down, all of us, in the living room to play Nintendo. And we would take turns to do that. And that was awesome. I think we used to share everything. And that was good. So the school was good. I have all those friends, and I have really good memories of that. Yeah, school was good. What's okay? Well, that was a bit tricky. You know why? Now that I think about it, my father's an engineer, right? A civil engineer. So my mom used to always say, um, oh, you're gonna be an architect. Oh, you're gonna be an architect. She always said that. And I remember when I was doing all the tests in high school for that, architecture was one of them, one of the careers that was suggested. So I picked architecture, and I really enjoy it. It's really enjoy it. It has been so many great things out of me, is being creative and finding the way, problem solving, all the creativity. I love it. But then I realized that it wasn't really my passion, you know? Now just like 5 years ago, I realized this wasn't really my passion, architecture. It was good. I enjoy it. I love it. But this is not what I want to keep doing. And that's why I actually start studying to do life coaching. Almost 20 years, I think. Yeah, 2000 to 2000 to 2000 to 2000 almost 2001. It was more about residential and commercial also, but it was mostly residential architecture. Yeah, doing buildings, or it was more about buildings, apartment buildings. Before we got married, my husband was looking into, I don't know why, I don't know exactly how he find out about Australia, but Australia was needing people to come, right? They wanted to have young people because of the baby boomers, and it's starting to request or asking for people to come. So we started to look into that. And he told me about it. And then when he talked to, I am a Christian, so when he talked to our pastor, that he was having a look about Australia because it sounds great, and he was, why not? Why not come into Australia and explore it? He said, you know what? We're going to be transferred to Australia. So our pastor from our church was going to be transferred to here to Australia too. So for us was like, oh, okay, So then we started to do all the paperwork, and they all, then we got the approval. We got married, and 6 months later, we arrived into Australia. 16, 17 years ago. And yeah, now we call Australia home. We have 2 kids that were born here. And I love Australia, definitely. This is a beautiful country, and I love. Now, I always was fascinated by the human behavior. Always. That was something that was very intriguing for me. It's amazing how complex we are. How we think, our minds, and the way that we do things. I was always fascinated by it. But then a few years ago, I started to feel like something was missing. And I think also because I was a very active member of the church, and I used to mentor a lot of people, or a lot of the girls used to come to me for mentoring. And that what just happened. And that was something that I really enjoyed. So that gave me a hint of something that I was, that I was yearning for, that I want to give. And I always wanted to give. Right? I'm a giver, I think. No, I think I am. So in that, and then I started to have this feeling like something is missing, like I needed to grow. And I found this friend, and she was the one who introduced me to life coaching. She came from Colombia, and she had this beautiful project of life coaching for kids, right? And leadership for kids. And she was the one who introduced me to life coaching. It's like, oh, what is life coaching? Because I really didn't know at that time. And so I started searching for it between counseling and coaching. And I remember talking to a few friends, and we were thinking about the same thing. We were having sort of the same need to change, to find something else, something different, I guess it was, something more fulfilling is the way that I see it. And I started searching for life coaching. I found that my school, and I just fell in love with it. I said, this is it. This is my place. This is the place that I want to be, and that's the way that I started, and I started to work on that. I started to work on myself. I started to put the mirror into myself, started to see my own traumas, right? To discover, even as a very simple thing was like, oh my God, but I have never, it's not that I feel proud of myself. I have never recognized what I have done. You know, for me, I said, that's a very simple thing and something that I have never done for myself, right? So that's, you know, so many things wake up with just doing that course. It was amazing. It was an amazing journey for me on discovering myself, discovering my, like I said, the traumas that I have from knowing that my parents got divorced and I didn't understood that. So I discovered all that. I was able to help my kids because my son has allergy and he was struggling at that time a lot with the allergy and how to handle, how to accept it. So it was a lot, so many tools and so many things and so many levels that I grew up as a person, you know, that I developed myself. That it was an amazing journey and definitely was something that I wanted to share. And I guess in that it was about, I think for me, showing emotions was one of the key things because I was able to show when I was angry or maybe frustrated, but I wasn't able to show or to be vulnerable. You know, I had to work a lot on that. There was in that process, I was thinking so many of us are in the same boat. The same things are happening. We don't know how to deal with our emotions. We don't know how to feel. We don't know how to communicate with ourselves. And in that process, I got to what is the self-love? And it's how do I actually learn to love myself? So that has been my journey. And that is the journey that I want like to help people to find and to do. Well, I work with people that are experiencing stress and anxiety, right? And a lot of the people feel that you have it, they have emotional baggage. So they're having these bursts of emotions and they don't know what to do with them. And sometimes they feel that they are being controlled by your own emotions, right? They feel angry, but they don't know how to contain that. Or sometimes they feel afraid of feeling angry. Or people that feel sad and people that is behaving in a way that's like, I don't want to be like that. I don't know why am I doing this? And I don't want to do that. And so they find themselves in that cycle where they don't understand why they're doing that, but they don't want to do it. That is one. And people that also, some people experience anxiety, physical anxiety. They're having the racing heart, they have all the expressions in the body, and they get really scared about that. And other people, they can just how to manage stress because they're stressful life. It's like work is taking my whole life, and then I feel guilty because I cannot spend time with my family. Or because my temper is really short when I get home because I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm exhausted. And I have a really short temper when I get home. And then I feel guilty that I'm, talking in that way to my kids. So that's the people that I work with. The benefit number one is confidence. Okay. But not a confidence that you have there are two levels of confidence. You have the surface confidence and you have the deeper confidence. The surface confidence is the one that you get through your thinking, right? And through when you got mastery in doing something, when you develop an ability, you have confidence you can do it. But there's a confidence that is internally, that is within you. It's a knowing that you are worthy, that you are good enough. And that is the journey that I want to get. So it's that confidence, that inherent value that we have, that we need to find within ourselves. Okay, so that is the benefit number one, is confidence, but confidence in who you really are. So which is finding yourself. Right? So the confidence, yes, it's confidence. With that is that self-love, right? So it's that journey to self-love. So through the anxiety, and that is my slogan that was there, through anxiety and through the stress and through all these emotional baggage, once we are able to resolve that, once we're able to heal it, to feel it in our body, right? And to process, and to get to the truth of who we are, but within ourselves, and it's a deeper knowing of who you are, then we get to love ourselves. And that gives the confidence that we need. And that gives the tranquility that we need, or the calm that we need, the patience, right? And the strength that we need to just know that you can take on anything. You can take on life and you're going to be able to handle. It's knowing that you're going to be able to handle whatever comes your way. So other benefits, we're going to release limiting beliefs, right? So one of the benefits is that the things that are holding us back usually is our limiting beliefs. So what we're going to do is we're going to understand the root cause of that limiting belief, and we're going to change it. Right? So you will have a belief system that will help you to handle life. Another one is that we're going to heal, right? In that sense, you're going to have a relationship with yourself. You're going to know your emotions, or learn to listen to the wisdom of your own emotions, because they have a wisdom. So the emotions are there for you to extract that wisdom and use it. And you align in that way, we are able to align our emotions in our heart with our thinking. In that, then when we start acting from that place is when we get, confidence, because we're acting from a place of truth in who you are, right? So you get that alignment. And what are the and learn, and so it will give you clarity in what is exactly that you want, what is exactly the your heart is looking for, right? Sometimes we want things, but we don't even know why exactly we want it, right? And sometimes we have misunderstandings, and the idea is to have clarity in what is it that I want, and how can I have that I want. So that one is a big piece. Then the end result is love and confidence. I go back to the same point, because the end result is actually acceptance of who you are, clearing the misunderstandings, right? And of those limiting beliefs. And that in result give you, or is the journey, it gives you the freedom to love yourself and accept yourself. So that is the end result. Well, a lot of the clients, they are feeling, well, in my social media, I talk about fear. Okay. What is fear doing to our body, and what's happening when we have fear? Talking about emotions. What is the relationship that I have with emotions? Right. So I guess is mainly about emotions, the overthinking in our head. Right? When we have a lot of overthinking, that we cannot stop that voice in our head. Right? And that make us feel very, very tired, when they have difficulty in sleeping because of the overthinking. Deep inside, we feel that we are not good enough, and we know that we really don't like ourselves. Sometimes we are afraid of judgment, right? And that fear of judgment limit us on doing and getting the things that we want, or even enjoying in life. Sometimes people just feeling like they are just an spectator in their own life. The life is happening to them, and they just looking at it. Right? Sometimes they just very worry about the future, on how to control the future, so that they make sure that they are going to be okay. So that is usually well, not all of that, but I think those are great ideas to use in social media.
What's the feeling for you just sitting here and having that conversation?
It's easier. It's very easy, and it flows.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
That is what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what people will, that's exactly what I said. When you say, okay, people don't understand what I do, I was saying, but maybe I don't understand what you do. It sounds really cool. Since you said it, I said, yes, it's really cool. But I think it is one of the big points, the pain point is when you feel you're stuck. You don't know what to post in social media, right? And like for me, that's just struggle. It's like, okay, what is it that I'm gonna say? How to say it? Because for me, I do have a block, which is language.
That's how simple it is. How do I explain that? You've got to experience it, and you just experienced it.
Because that's what you do. You extract all the information in a way that I can just talk about it. Right? The other person can just talk about it and be fluently. And from that, you have the content all in one block or written or whatever that you're going to use, that we're going to use. Oh my God, it's been great. It was so easy. I didn't have to, it was just like me just talking. And that way, I've been stuck for a long time. And that is the truth. I've been stuck. I don't know what to post. Every time that I sit down and I need to write, it's like, I guess the panic monster comes or something like that. And then my ideas doesn't flow. Or then I get very cheeky on, okay, maybe that is not right. Maybe this is not right. Or I get stuck into that. But in this way, you're just asking me questions and things just flow. Right? Just coming out of me. And that is a very easy way and a really comfortable way to get that information that people will need and I would love them to have.